Hey Strat fans, it's me, your boy Colonelstrat, back at it again with another Doomstack video. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, but I've been sitting on this egg for a long time, and I think I'm just about ready to bring it to fruition. Come here.
Just come here for a second, okay?
Come here. Y'all ever heard of thunderbarges? This shit is insane. Dwarven thunderbarges, the doom balloons, they're insane to deal with, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's the next Doomstack. That's gotta be. They did not disappoint. They are insane against infantry armies. They do insanely well against them. They don't do as hot against single entities because it's hard for their bombs to hit them, but the grudge rakers on the side can still hit them, and they have the spear of Grudney that can do a lot of damage, but it's kind of random if it hits. You know, you gotta line up the shot well, but they have an advantage being that none of these armies that they really face, especially if it's a melee only army, if all their units are ground, they can't really do any damage to it.
Oh no! Oh no!
The flying melee units like Bellbats or Harpies don't really do enough damage to really be effective because the grudge rakers on the side of it just blast them up and they die.
Try me, bitch.
And it's got a lot of armor too. It's got like 90 armor, so it's able to withstand a lot of damage, and also it starts with a good amount of missile resist too. But if you buff it up with Malachi, you get even more. You know, so if you go into campaign with Malachi, it gets even more insane. I'm waiting to show you guys all of that. So again, if you guys like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I'm always here. I'm always answering all comments, and I want to hear all there is to know and what your thoughts are on this glorious Doom Balloon Doomstack for the dwarves and all your dwarf loaders out there. Tell me how you like the thunderbarge. Tell me how you like this DLC, because I feel like we've gotten a lot of really cool stuff with it, even though I'm not so hyped about the slayers, but you know, that's just personal. I like my dwarves with a lot of chain, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Feel free, hit me up in the comments. It helps me fight the YouTube algorithm. And of course, let's roll right into the video, Strat fans. Now, one of the key parts of this Doomstack is that you want to have one lord on the bottom, because if you don't have a lord or some unit on the ground taking up ground, you're going to have a problem with leadership. Like, you know, their leadership's pretty high because they're dwarves. Look at this. You could just pretty much just sit back and relax. Like, I don't even have to touch my keyboard. Like, look at this shit. They do so much damage to infantry that it's laughable. It is laughable how much damage they do. Then you could just get the spear to do a lot of damage to single entities like this. And we'll see just how insane that is, while literally the other infantry is just being blasted by them. Look, ooh, my lord. And that's just 2 spears. Oh wait, no, that's the 3 spears. Okay, and then you only have 1 spear each, so it is limited, but the amount of spears you needed is not that much. And we're already routing the majority of the forces. We've killed over 1,000. Look at that. Look at that. And then, okay, he's dying. Dead in, like, no time. Look at that.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
Completely obliterated. Like I said, this Doomstack is insane. Any infantry force is going to falter. Dwarves, orcs, Skaven are really bad against this Doomstack, and the only challenge that they have is their speed. Their speed's very bad, but 30 speed isn't terrible. You could do afterburners, but you do some damage per second, but you got like almost 12,000 points of HP, so even if you need to use it to get in there, as you can see, you're doing insane amounts of damage. Plus their fire arc, this blue arrow, they can fire so much. The only fire arc that's for the bombs is the green arrow. You want to get them there to get the most damage, but they still do a lot of damage with their cannons and everything else. So any infantry force, it's going to do really good against. Now let me show you one that's not so hot against, but could still do pretty good, especially if you know how to micromanage your spear or Grudney shots and get a little lucky. Alright, now we're up against a lizardmen force. Now one thing I forgot to show you last time was I usually pause it if you're able to in this campaign. But one, you want to make sure that you get your lord, like Malachi for instance. I got him hidden. That means they only go after the ones that are flying. So hide your ground lord so that he doesn't attract problems. Now the only problems you'll get are any flying units. Flying units, they can do melee damage to the thing, so these Ripidactyls here might cause some problems. So what you want to do is you want to target them first with 1 thunderbarge. Of course, you'll go for the infantry who could resist the infantry, but you also want to go for these carnosaurs here. So I'll group a little bit of them and have all of them use their spears on these carnosaurs.
Let him
Now, any single entities are going to be difficult for you to deal with because, again, they're single entities. They're not exactly going to be easy for you to crump. But I feel like it still is pretty biased in your favor because you do so much more damage to them, especially with your Spears of Grugni, if you hit the mark. Like, that one didn't hit. That one did. That one didn't hit, but it hit the guys behind. That one hit too. Ooh, that one hit as well. Ooh, my lord. These ones aren't hitting, though. But you see, like, I mean, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. And that time, when that happens, you kind of just have to hope for the best.
Please. Please. Please.
See, even though the Ripperdactyls technically could pose a problem, they still aren't that much of a problem because of the guns. The guns are able to take them out a lot easier. But they are able to do a little bit of damage and get in the way a little bit. But because they're grudge rakers up here, they still do a lot of damage to them. So you're going to need like anything that's going to be a serious threat if it's a single entity flying unit. Or you get like this one's taking a little damage here. But we're still doing a whole lot of damage to the enemies below us. So not so much. But the Carnosaurs are going to be the ones that takes the longest. Because again, we only have one thing that can deal with single entities well, and that's the spear. So you'll want to make sure you get spears. You conserve your spears. Don't just throw them away like I did there. Spears can be good. Like I said, they can be really good. Get him with a spear. Get him with a spear. There you go.
Let's go. Too easy, dude. Give me that crown.
And the leadership crumbled anyway, so this one was a little bit more challenging. Just for a little bit, but still not so much. But again, if I were to go up against single entity flying units like a Kotal or something with a lot of firepower, it could still do pretty well. Or even I've seen like Skaven rattling guns can do pretty good against it, but you have to focus fire them down. When you have all of these thunderbarges, the Doomstack's pretty fucking insane. I have seen Skaven rattling guns or Jezzails do punch a hole through it, but that's only if you're bringing like one or two. They have to focus fire on them, and if they're focus firing on one, then you could just have the other one go around and drop bombs on them. The weapon teams shatter at that point because they just do so much damage. Now, that was against a more challenging foe with a little bit more micromanage because you had to use your spears conservatively. I will now show you guys how insane they can get in Malakai's campaign. Alright, and here we are with Malachi and his bros. I've kept all of these heroes because they're legendary, of course, but also because they still do some buffs for the thunderbarges. Only one that doesn't is Garagrim, really, because he's more just buffs himself up.
Yo, what you doing, man? What you doing, man?
But, I mean, I'll keep them all in the forest, and basically they'll be like a hero squad ready to come back up if thunderbarges need it. But I guarantee you they won't, because if you can see here, the missile strength is increased so much because they have explosive damage increased, armor-piercing explosive damage, armor-piercing missile damage, all of that. Plus, they have a lot of ammunition now and a lot of armor. They're doing really well. Plus, some of them take some beating, but that's nothing, at least compared against this guy here. We'll be doing really well against these guys, so it's a proper test. Now, another thing you'll notice is they actually have 2 Spears of Grugni. That's awesome. Malachi gives him 2 spears.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
So you have multiple defenses against large targets. Plus also he has the Spirit of Grugni, which is the original Renown version. But we're going up against more trolls and special units more than infantry, so our base fire would not do as much damage. But, however, these guys are upgraded due to one of Malakai's adventures, so they are upgraded to where they do a whole lot more. Let's go chug them out. I'll show you just how insane they can be. Keep on chugging, just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just...
I'm going to get the Spirit of Grugni in, though, when I can. You can upgrade it to where the Spirit of Grugni never disintegrates, too, so that's even better. Let's just wait until we get into firing range. We'll really be able to show you how insane these guys can get. Look at that. Look at that. They fire flammable rounds now. Oh, my lord. Does a whole lot more damage. Oh, my god. Look at that damage to those infantry units. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that does a lot of damage. It's a spectacle, really. They got no chance. Look at them. In their prime. You ain't got no chance. I don't even think I think this is just fucking beating a dead horse at this point, but I'm getting the Spirit of Grugni in here to do more. Anyone call for the Spirit of Grugni? I don't even know if we need the spears, but I'm gonna use them. Oh my lord, oh my lord, we just toppled them. Look, we just toppled them down. They couldn't get, oh, he's dead. Okay. Their lord is dead. They couldn't get anything. They couldn't get a word in edgewise. Go face that one guy there. Oh my lord. Stop firing at these retreating guys. Fire at these guys in play. Still got 10 enemies in play. Where are they at? I don't see them. They must be hiding somewhere. Oh, well, there they are. That's them, but, yeah, they're not doing so hot now. It's the night goblins. Yep. There we go. Decisive victory.
I win.
Let's see the post-battle. Look at that. Look at all that. Only 162 remaining. But again, like I said, that is just insane for the amount of upgrades you get. So to do the Skaven scheme, I'll show you guys in the campaign in just a moment. You can get the flammable ammunition as along with a whole bunch of other buffs, as well as the repairs, meaning whenever it drops below 50%, it'll do some emergency repairs, which generate pretty much all the way up to, I think it's actually 25%. I'll have to check when we come back in here, but I think it's 25 or 50. But whenever you reach that threshold, both sit up to like 75% health. So it's like a second wind for the thunderbarge. So it makes them even more powerful of a Doomstack in campaign. So it's like, why would you choose anything else for your Doomstack when you could just get a whole bunch of floaty airships with your heroes on the ground? It's just a recipe for success, and you're going to be able to destroy any enemy that comes across you, especially when they're like orcs, Skaven, factions that majority of their armies are low tier chaff infantry.
Trash.
It depends on what difficulty you're going for, because the Skaven, if they're higher difficulty, they can field rattling guns, they can field Jezzails. That can pose a threat, but when you have so many thunderbarges, once they get within range, you're done.
You're done.
Especially with that flaming ammunition, they cause flammable attacks. They do a lot of damage against anything like that. Look at that. That was insane. Insane. I'll show you real quick. See, this is one of the adventure that I completed. So you get flaming cannon ammunition for Spirit of Grugni, which is what that was. That there's a whole lot more splash damage. It buffs up its damage insanely more. Plus you get some missile resist as well. 30% missile resist. Experience gain. I don't know why I didn't get it, because I literally got all of them down. The passive ability, emergency repairs. Yeah, it's 50. I thought it was 50, and it gives you 20% more of your health back. It's insane. It's pretty much a second wind. You get up to 70% of your health already back when you reach 50%. Flaming camp ammunition, and then of course it does do a bonus for Doomseekers, which is unrelated to the Thunderbarge. The Rune of Thungi is pretty good. It gives sundered armor to whatever unit you attach it to, so that's pretty good. But again, the main takeaway from this scheme right here, this adventure, is the flaming cannon ammunition that just insanely buffs up your Thunderbarges, as well as the 30% missile resist. So if we look at our Thunderbarges here, their missile resist is up to 60%. That's insane. The major way of dealing with a Thunderbarge is 60% less effective now. So the only way you can really deal with it is flying units that can run up to it and smack it around, if you have that as a faction. I do have maps of the area. That's because of the dilemma I did. Yeah, basically, Malachi buffs up a lot of different Doomstacks. You're going to see him in a lot of Doomstack videos with different things, like how he buffs up his cannons here with the grape shot ability, how he buffs up his gyrocopters with 360 missile block. I mean, his goblin hero's perfect vigor is pretty good, but it's not insane. For this one, you get fire bombs for gyro bombers, which is, oh my lord, as well as magical attacks for it too. For the flame cannons, you get dig in, which just increases his range and missile resist, but it still is decent. But again, you know, he gets a lot of buffs for it, and the Thunderbarge is just the crown jewel of Malakai's arsenal. So it is insane, Strat fans. So that was my Thunderbarge Doomstack. I know this one was probably one that you guys expected to come, because the Thunderbarge, even without these buffs, it is insane. The major drawback of the Doomstack is the cost and how late in the campaign you can get it. But once you get it, you can roll through anything, really. I mean, the only thing that's going to cause you problems, really, in the end game, especially if you're playing Malachi when you unlock the fire ammunition and you're able to just decimate armies, is armies that have single entity flying units that can do a lot of damage to you. Because even as you saw with the Ripidactyls, those are a decent flying unit, but they still didn't do that much, because again, with the Grudge Rakers that are on the Thunderbarge, it protects it from multiple entity units very easily by just dispersing shotgun fire around it. So the only thing that's really going to do a lot of damage is single entity flying units, and a lot of those don't really do that much damage in flying unless it's a lord. So like dragons, those might be a good way to counteract it, but you need like a Doomstack of dragons against a Doomstack of Thunderbarges, you know? And the AI is not going to really do this. It might have one or two dragons, you just focus fire it with your Thunderbarges and it'll be done, because it still takes a lot of damage from the Grudge Raker fire. That is designed to do a lot of damage. So it's insane Doomstack, and it couldn't be higher for a Doomstack. You know, I thank you guys for coming and watching this one, even though it was pretty obvious that it was a Doomstack. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, feel free to like, comment down below what your favorite part of the Thunderbarge Doomstack is. Any of this engagement helps me beat YouTube's dreaded algorithm. Any amount of contact from you guys is much appreciated, Strat fans. And as well, remember to keep strategic. Colonel out.